Hello, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Connect2Content. Today's topic is the role of content in employer branding. And we have with us Anu George. Anu is the employer branding and recruitment marketing specialist at ThoughtWorks. And she has been with ThoughtWorks for the last 5 years now. So tell us, what role does content and storytelling play in employer branding?
In in the present digital age, I would say content has become one of the cornerstones of employer branding, and organizations want to showcase and highlight their culture and their values through success stories of employees. And storytelling has really become the crux of employer branding, according to me.
Tell us some examples of how content has leveraged or has been able to leverage your brand story or build equity in the market.
I think at ThoughtWorks, the way we would look at employer branding would be something similar to account-based marketing. We would want, we'd create stories, or we'd create content that are, specific to our target audience. Earlier organizations used to be very generic in terms of creating content that is, for building brand awareness or brand equity, but we cannot no longer do, we cannot any longer do that. We have to build content that are specific and that would resonate well with our audience. For example, at ThoughtWorks, gender diversity is a priority for us. And we have several campaigns like Talk Tech to Her, Vapasi program that are targeted at women in technology. And we create stories and of our employees who are women and who continue to pursue a career in tech despite the challenges or the different hurdles they've come across. And we believe that these stories can be inspiring for other women who are facing such challenges in their career, right? So we have to build content that can relate to our audience, that they resonate very well with. So yes, I think whenever we think of storytelling or content in what kind of role it plays in employer branding, I would say we'd look at it like creating specific stories that relate to our audiences.
So what are the different platforms you use for employer branding exercises?
We try to engage with our audience across different kinds of platforms. Definitely company website is one of the primary modes of engaging with our audiences. Social media is playing a big role these days, and with the majority of the workforce, the current workforce are mostly millennials, social media becomes one of the most engaging platform for us. And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and not just LinkedIn, even YouTube is nowadays, we see there is a higher level of engagement in YouTube as well. So we cannot solely depend on our company website, but we have to look at other channels where we can engage with our audience. It could be through PR, it could be through blogs, multiple channels which are far more engaging.
How has social media changed employer branding initiatives over the last few years? You mentioned Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. So each channel has its own role. The content changes from channel to channel. But have you seen a difference in how social media has brought that change to employer branding as a whole?
Yes, I think on social media, we want to be a little more casual and not very formal, and share stories of what's happening. It's very more current, and content that are not scripted or edited, but very ad hoc and very random. And that I feel is very engaging because the content that comes in social are spontaneous, right? And another thing about engaging on social media, we have to really look at bite-sized content which are far more engaging. It could be short videos, or it could be Instagram stories, content that are snackable.
Has it become important for companies also to start investing in content marketing so that they can tell their value stories to their new recruits?
I think when people are looking out for jobs, or when they join a new company, they definitely want to know, what would their life be in a new organization, and what are some of the career pathways they have, and how would their career progress in this new organization. And this can be articulated very well through stories of employees who've been on that journey. So definitely, yes, I think investing in content is important and very critical to employer branding.
So are there any tips you can give managers who are starting out on employer branding exercises today?
Yeah, based on my experience, there are just three things that I would like to share. One is go beyond just building a generic brand messaging, know your audience and build content that are specific to your audience. And number three is embrace social. Look at platforms that are more engaging, and that where you can interact on a daily basis with your audience and stay connected with them. So these are some of the things I'd like to share.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you for joining us today. We had some great insights on employer branding and the role of content. And follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.